Guys, welcome back to the channel. You may remember a few days ago that the Necrons rose and drove a strike force of Grey Knights off the planet. The civilians had ran. They've ran to this monastery where the planet defense force has rallied, and they're going to be making a last stand to try and destroy the Necrons as they've came up to take over the planet and take back their tomb world. The mission today, we're playing Breakout from the 4th edition rulebook, and Ali has brought the Planet Defense Force along, and God knows how many models are there, but it's took them about 15 minutes to set up. So down here there's demolished tanks, there's smoke. The Guard have been fleeing away from the onslaught of Necrons as the Grey Knights try to hold them up. Unfortunately they weren't successful, and the two Terminators have let the Guard know that the Necrons are on their way.
Right, so from the HQ, I've got a company command squad. The commander's got a power fist and a bolt pistol. In his unit there's a medic, there's a regimental standard, there's a Vox, and I've got an Orc Dead Hog, and there's also a priest attached to him. It's just down there. I've got a unit of 20 guardsmen here, with 2 melter guns, and the sergeants have got melter bombs. A unit of 5 bull guns, 3 have got power mauls, and there's also a priest attached. 5 weird vein psychers. At the back there, 30 guardsmen, 3 flamers, and the sergeants have got melter bombs. Down here is 50 conscripts with a commissar. Platoon command squad down here, 2 flamers, platoon commander's got a bolt gun and melter bombs. There's a missile launcher team in this corner. Over here we've got another missile launcher team. It's a 10-man veteran unit on this level. They've got 2 melter guns, demolitions, and the sergeant's also got melter bombs. Down here we've got a devil dog with a hull heavy flamer and the melter cannon. 10 rough riders. The sergeant's got a power lance and melter bombs. And that's my Imperial Guard force.
It's been a long night, and they've been on guard all night, waiting for the glowing blue eyes of the Cardanesh dynasty attacking. It is night fighting. All of these sandbags and the crates and the barbed wire will count as Aegis defense lines, so Ali's going to have a lot of cover in the centre here. For the rules, if he fails his morale check, he falls back towards the centre. If he reaches the centre, he'll automatically regroup as well. Necrons are advancing across this barren wasteland towards the demolished monastery. Let's have a look and see where the attacking forces are coming from. Right, so the attacking Necron force down here, we've got the first unit of 10 warriors in the Reclamation Legion. We have down here the Tomb Blades with nebula scopes, shield vanes, and we've got one with a single particle beamer. We've got Anarchy joining up with 5 Lich Guard with war scythes. On the far flank we've got 10 Immortals, and we've got another unit of 10 warriors down there. The Immortals have the Gauze Blasters. Over this side we have the Destroyer Cult. We've got the Destroyer Lord there with Phylactery, Phase Shifter, and a War Scythe. His Warlord trait is Eternal Warrior. And we've got 2 units of 3 destroyers, each of them having a single heavy destroyer in there. We've then got the Monolith from the Reclamation Legion. The next unit of destroyers, and then we've got the Canoptic Harvest with 6 Scarab bases. The Spider and the Wraiths have whip coils. So the name of the game is Ali has to get each unit from here off one of the short board edges on either side. He scores 1 victory point if he succeeds in doing that. At the end of the game, if he has a unit within 12 inches of the corner, they also count as getting off the board, and he needs to get at least half of his units off. So on the roll of a 1, the Necrons go first. On the roll of a 2 to a 5, it's the Imperial Guard. So Ali, do you want to roll? Oh. So it looks as though the Necrons are going to be attacking the forces of the Guard first. It is night fighting. Ali's going to have lots of 2-up cover saves in here. Let's see what we do. Right, so start of the Necron movement phase. The Destroyers and the Lord are all pushing forward. The plan is to not let anything get to this side. With the mobility and the firepower, hopefully Ali won't be running this way. The Monolith is taking the centre. The idea of sticking the Monolith on the opposite side is to spit out some Immortals or Warriors if I need to get rid of the guys there and try and prevent them coming this way. The other Destroyers here have pushed forward. The Spider has bred another Scarab. I'm hoping to get the Scarabs in combat, hopefully the next turn, and we can hopefully tie his units down. The idea of leaving the Harvest on this side, fearless rates, it's going to take them a lot to get through them. Hopefully that'll stop them from breaking out on that side. And meanwhile on this side, the Warriors pushing forward, looking to maybe take on Chimera, or possibly start whittling away at the Bullgrins on this side. Tomb Blades, probably going to take them out hopefully, or at least try to, with the strength 5 guns, ignoring the cover. We've then got Anakia and the Lich Guard making a beeline for the Bullgrins. Hopefully they have the strength to be able to take them out. But if we go for them, the mobility of the Guard might mean that they get through the Necron lines on this side. As a result, we're keeping this corner strong as well. We've got the Immortals and the Warriors. Everything got good moves through cover. We all moved 6 inches, the Immortals moved 5. They're probably looking to take on the Rough Riders. Right, so the Destroyers at this side decided to shoot through at the Guardsmen, through the doorway, and due to being night fighting, Ali passed every single 2-up cover save. Down this way, the Monolith dropped the Particle Whip and actually got 4 hits with the, we managed to get 5 wounds in and even got 4 hits with the Whip Coils, and we managed to take out 2 of them all together. The Destroyers even shot in as well, and again Ali passing 2-ups left, right and centre. Down here, the Tomb Blades decided to unload into the Bullgrins. We used the Particle Beamer first to try and get rid of the 3-up armour of the front guys, and then rapid fire in with the Gauze Blasters, but unfortunately no wounds were done. We did however take out 2 of the Guardsmen with the Particle Caster. The Warriors also shot in and killed 1 guard as well. Meanwhile down here, the Immortals and the Warriors at this side, the Warriors shot in to the weapons team here, and we managed to actually inflict 4 wounds altogether, killing 2 of the bases. They have however passed the morale check. The Rough Riders down here as well, we took 2 of them out, 2 of the Immortals. Ali passing quite a lot of 4-up cover saves due to the rocks and night fighting. So that's the end of the shooting phase. We've got the Destroyers to assault jump, but the plan is basically to form a gun line and wait for Ali to come out to us, I think. Maybe charge the Lich Guard and Bullgrins to stop and tie the other units up. Right, so the Destroyers here are pulled forward. The Wraiths ran in the shooting phase as well, and we're hoping to start and surround the Guard, prevent them from coming out. The Destroyers here also jetpacking forward as well. Right, so Guard turn 1 Ali's moved the Devil Dog here, looking probably to take out the Warriors. It's not going to look good with them with that nice heavy flamer as well. Over here with the Lich Guard and the Tomb Blades, the Guard squad with the Bulgrin in there, and the Bulgrins are all pushing forward as well. Down here, the conscripts, the commissars chasing them out the building. They are terrified of the glowing blue eyes marching towards them, and they've run out to meet them, more scared of the commissar than they are of the Necrons. Guard squad at this side probably looking to start eating up at the destroyers. They've moved across the line. The commissar again at this side chasing them. So down here, the Rough Riders, feeling heroic, are going to charge the Wraith, see if they can try and tie them up for just a little bit, allowing the rest of the Guard to escape the monastery that has been surrounded. Right, so second phase, this guy here managed to get Force off, and he's cast Prescience on the Guard unit down here, looking to probably start eating in at the Necrons on this flank. The Brotherhood of Psychers in the centre here, trying to cast Endurance on the Bulgrins. Unfortunately, Ali didn't get it off. Thank God, because that would have been brutal. So let's move on to the shooting phase. Right, so in the shooting phase, the company commander has ordered fire on my target from the guys over here to shoot at the Tomb Blades. Hopefully the Melters would be able to insta-kill one of the, destroy one of the Tomb Blades, and he has indeed. The rest of the guys, however, despite getting a few wounds, Tomb Blades passed all of their saves and reanimations. They have as well passed their leadership check. The commander has also issued forwards for the Emperor onto the conscripts, and they managed to bring down a single warrior at this side, and they're getting a good run forward, looking to throw themselves at the warriors and immortals marching towards them. The missile team that's left here chose to try and shoot the Tomb Blades, and unfortunately his hands are shaking a little bit, I think, from losing two of his comrades last turn. Meanwhile over here, the guys in the ruins with the melter guns and the missile teams between them managed to strip a single wound off the Wraith here. So we're going to be going on to the assault phase. I think the Rough Riders are going to be charging in. Let's see what Rough Riders are made of. Right, the Guard squad down here, the Flamers unloaded onto the destroyers and unfortunately didn't do any damage. They then tried to charge, but the guys at the rear held them up. Ali unfortunately rolling a double one. We did, however, kill one to Overwatch. In the shooting phase down here, the Heavy Flamer managed to take out one of the warriors, and the Inferno cannon on the top unfortunately scattered wildly. As a result, the company command squad decided to charge between the tanks. A couple of the warriors get in line of sight and did get a hit and a wound, but Ali managed to pass his armor save. Down here, the Bulgrins made a 9-inch charge into the Tomb Blades, looking to probably smash them off the jet bikes, bury them in the ground. Alright, so down here the Rough Riders have charged in at the Wraiths, and the Wraiths are going to need to pile in. We're both going in initiative 5, so we'll get this on camera and see how hard Rough Riders can hit. Right, so let's get this combat here. Weapon skill 3 for the Rough Riders, hitting on 4s then. Not bad. About average. Strength on the charge?
Strength 5.
So wounding on 4s. Only 3. So then I have 3 up in runs, 4 reanimation. So that is a wound dealt out. I've then got 9 attacks back at initiative 5 as well. I'm weapon skill 4, so I'm hitting on 3s. There we go. And I am strength 6 rending. So that is 1 rend, Ali, and then what's that? 6 saves. You want to see them?
5.
5, yeah.
5 saves, 5 plus.
Nice. So he lost 2 and I lost 1. Oh yes, 3.
In total.
So leadership minus 2.
Sergeant, got 3 attacks.
Oh yeah.
He actually have 4 because he's got 2 base, 1 for charge, 1 for 2 close combo weapons.
Yep. The sergeant.
4s.
Nice, 3 hits.
Strength 4.
Toughness 5, so 5's to wound.
Does no.
Nothing. So combat lost by 2. Leadership check, yep. 6, yeah. Leadership 8. So tie combat for the Wraiths. Right, so down here the Bulgrins are charged in. managed to make mincemeat of a tomb blade. Priest sang Righteousness of the Emperor, allowing the Bulgarins to re-roll wounds, and despite getting about 12-15 wounds in, managed to pass most of our armors and only failed a single reanimation. Thankfully, we also passed morale, rolling a 4. So that's the end of Guard turn 1. The sun is now rising, and the Guard can see the true scale of the attacking Necron force. Let's move on to Necrons turn 2. Right, so the plan is for these destroyers to take out the Hell Dog down there, Devil Dog even. Destroyer Lord and these destroyers, possibly eat some of these guards for breakfast. I'm going to maybe charge the Destroyer Lord in. I reckon he can probably tie them up, hopefully for the rest of the game. The destroyers down here, looking to still shoot into the guard here. Maybe we can take down that commissar if we can get to him. The scarabs looking to charge in as well and support the Destroyer Lord in taking the guardsmen out. The spider moving forward through the cover as well, spawning another base. The immortals and the warriors at this side looking to lay fire down on the conscripts. There's going to be a lot of shots coming at them, and they've got no cover save there in the open until you get to the guys at the back behind the sandbags. The tomb blades are still caught up in combat with the Bulgarins, but Anakia and the Lich Guard are looking to hopefully get them free. Meanwhile, Anakia can see the Devil Dog, and we're looking to use his ability to shoot back over onto the command squad at that side. So hopefully there'll be a devastating turn of firepower from the Necrons. Let's see what happens. Right, so in the shooting phase, Anakia managed to take over the Devil Dog, and we luckily managed to get the Infernal Cannon. We managed to get the blast. We were targeting the command squad here. Unfortunately, it was scattered wildly back into the ruins, and as a result, the destroyers here, the heavy destroyer, leveled these heavy gauze, and it ran straight through the rear armor of the Devil Dog here. These guys, the warriors, rapid fired into this squad here and brought a number of them down despite the Aegis defense line being in the way. Do you want to do them now then? No. The destroyers here managed to kill a few guardsmen just in front of them, and the ones at this side also managed to bring some of them down as well. Meanwhile, the monolith decided to drop the particle whip on this nice big blob of squad of conscripts. Unfortunately, we did scatter, and we did manage to kill only 2 of them. So that was pretty much it for the shooting phase. Meanwhile, down here, the conscripts that came running out of the ruins, chased out by the commissar, were met to a rain of gauze, slaughtering them as they came running out. Ali's now made a sandbag line of dead bodies, I think, the amount that we just killed. But luckily, everybody has passed the morale, so it's looking not great for the Guard, but they are standing firm and strong. We've got a few assaults to make, so let's see what assault damage we can do. Right, so the plan is to keep this big unit from getting away with the Destroyer Lord. So he's charged in at this side. However, the Scarabs actually charged in first over here. We did take 2 wounds on one of the Scarabs to Overwatch due to the Flamer though. So the aim is hopefully try and split them up and do enough damage with both squads so that we can keep them from going anywhere. The Destroyer's got a good jetpack move right into the middle, so Ali's going to have to be forced to deal with the Destroyers in here, see what he's going to do with the conscripts. And the idea is to try and pincer attack them, so he either has to deal with them or run towards the Warriors and the Immortals stood outside the door. So which way is the Commissar going to chase the conscripts? We'll have to see in the next turn. Meanwhile, the Lich Guard, the plan is, hopefully, due to the strength 7 AP 2-ness, is to cut through the Bulgarins. Hopefully. I've left the Warriors and the Immortals just on the outskirts, as though I probably could make the charge. I want them to basically form a gun line, basically say, you guys are not getting out. The other Destroyer unit has jumped in here, possibly trying to take out the Psykers next turn maybe, but basically going to stand defiant in the centre of the monastery and hope that the Guard run back towards them. We might be able to overwhelm them. So let's have a look at the combats. Right, so down here the Destroyer Lord charged in and issued a challenge. The sergeant that was with the squad accepted, and the destroyer lord managed to cut 3 of the guardsmen down at this side. Meanwhile over here, the scarabs made it in, swarmed over the guardsmen. The commissar with his power fist unfortunately couldn't actually hit the scarabs running around his feet, whilst the guardsmen were screaming in terror as they swarmed around. However, the commissar is yelling, he's telling them to stand strong, and the few guys that are left are staying. Over here, the wraiths managed to kill 3 of the Rough Riders. They are running back, and the wraiths are chasing them down.
The reason nobody likes them, and nobody brings them.
So down here, the Rough Riders broke, and they ran a total of 5 inches. Meanwhile, the wraiths consolidating, looming over their heads. 4 inches, they are chasing them down. Down here, Anarchy and the Lich Guard charged in. I was hoping to do a lot of damage, and hopefully more through the Bulgrins. However, the priest that's in the squad managed to sing a hymn, allowing Ali to re-roll his saves. And Anarchy challenged, the Bonehead accepted, and Anarchy managed to get a single wound in on him. Meanwhile, the rest of the Lich Guard managed to bring down a Bulgrin and inflict 2 wounds on another one, as the Bulgrins were battering away at the Tomb Blades and brought one of the Tomb Blades crashing to the ground. So yeah, those guys do have Zealot, so they are going nowhere fast. So that is the end of Necron's turn 2. Let's see how the Guard retaliate and withstand the Necron firepower in their turn 2. Right, so Guard turn 2. The command squad is clambering over the wreckage of the Devil Dog and the Chimera, looking to hopefully start whittling away at the warriors on this flank, possibly run off this back corner edge. Meanwhile, the rest of the Guard making a break for it between the smoke and the ruins. They're going to make a run and follow the command squad, hopefully off the side of the board. The conscripts are being chased out of the ruins by the commissar there. He's even threatening to blow one of the heads off the conscript guy there. However, they are terrified. They only moved 3 inches out to face the Necron warriors and immortals standing their way. The platoon squad is feeling brave, hoping to burn a gap in the warriors here and possibly make a break for this side of the table as well. The Psychers down here as well, moving, looking probably to support the conscripts or the platoon squad. The Rough Riders unfortunately didn't rally, and they couldn't make it to the centre due to the destroyers being there, so unfortunately they've been destroyed. They've absolutely scarpered, terrified. So let's move on to the psychic phase and see if these guys can blast a hole in this flank. Right, so in the psychic phase, the priest in this squad tried to cast endurance on the squad to try and hold them alive a little bit longer. Unfortunately, it didn't go off. However, the psychers over this side managed to cast prescience on the veterans in here, and as a result, in the shooting phase, Ali dropped a demo charge from the ceiling, managed to blow off one of the destroyers, and the melter gun managed to inflict another wound on that guy there as well. Meanwhile, from the ceiling, the heavy weapons teams leveled the missile launchers, and a crack grenade managed to go through the reanimation protocols of the spider down there, so she's down to 2 wounds. Down here, the command squad and the squad of guardsmen, the commissar cast suppressive fire on both units, ordered them to try and take down these warriors here, and we only lost a single warrior. Meanwhile, the conscripts were ordered to shoot and run at the oncoming swarm of immortals and warriors. They did manage to bring an immortal down, and the command squad here with the flamers and the bolt guns managed to bring down 2 of the warriors as well. Right, so down here, the Overlord managed to cut down a sergeant and 2 of the Imperial Guard, whilst the Scarabs managed to overwhelm the commissar as well as a couple of guardsmen at that side. As a result, Ali failed his leadership test as he no longer had stubborn due to the commissar being brought down, and the Necron Overlord has overran the guardsmen. Down here, the commissar and the command squad, as well as the guardsmen, have charged in at the warriors. We didn't kill any on Overwatch, and sheer weight of numbers and the Bullgrin and the sheer number of attacks coming in actually wiped out the warriors, and then he overran us. So the Commissar is going to run this way. He's going to make it off the board edge, whilst the guard unit here is going to cover their asses while they run. Combat's over here. Anakia is still swinging at the Bonehead, managed to bring him down to another wound and took a wound in return. The Lich Guard, meanwhile, managed to bring down 2 of the Bullgrins. The Priest is still there with Zealots, so that combat is locked up still. Let's move on to Necrons, turn 3. Right, so Necrons, turn 3. The plan is to hopefully shoot through there and bring down a couple of these guys, potentially make them run back towards the centre. The guard here, unfortunately, I don't actually have anything in this vicinity that can actually deal with them, so we'll have to see what happens with them. The destroyers here, looking to shoot, hopefully take on the veteran squad, as that seems to be doing a lot of damage with the demo charges on the destroyers. The Scarabs, meanwhile, hopefully we can take down the Psykers in the assault phase. Down here, the warriors and the immortals were marching forward. We're looking hopefully to continue meeting down here. The immortals and the warriors are standing strong. We are marching forwards, pumping the Gauze blasters into the conscripts and the command squad here. Hopefully we can take a lot more of these guys out. Little do they know, however, there is a unit of Canoptic Wraith right behind them, looking to eat that Commissar there for breakfast, we think. So let's move on to the shooting phase. So down here, the destroyers managed to get a couple of hits, but it was the heavy destroyer that actually managed to bring down the medic, bringing up the rear of the command squad here. Unfortunately, they didn't fail morale check, so they're going to make it off the board. In the shooting phase, these destroyers here, as well as the destroyers here, unloaded into the veteran squad, but we only brought down 2 of them, so that wasn't great. The Monolith then decided to drop a particle whip on the conscripts and scattered right into the center of the table, not hitting anything at all. The warriors over here, we then leveled our Gauze rifles over the barricades and managed to kill 2 flamers just as they were about to bring the flames up, and they've ran back to the center. Down here, meanwhile, the Destroyer Lord, we managed to get 2 hits and kill 2 of the priests here with the Staff of Light. The Immortals down here, we are still marching forward, meeting the conscripts pouring out of the building. We're wondering if they're ever going to end, and managed to kill 6 of them. Unfortunately, not enough to force a morale check, so I think we're going to have to charge them, and the Wraiths are going to try and catch them from the back as well. Wow, what a combat phase. We charged in with the Wraith, but unfortunately, absolute sheer weight of numbers, I actually managed to lose a Wraith. The Immortals, we also charged in with this side. 2 attacks each at strength 5 meant we were wounding on 2s. And the Wraiths themselves actually managed to cut down the Commissar at that side. Unfortunately, Ali actually failed a lookout, so we actually brought him down to the ground. That meant, as a result, he was no longer stubborn for the leadership check, which he actually failed. So, yeah, and then, despite being initiative 2, we overran. So the Necrons are consolidating back this way. In the center of the board down here, the Destroyers and the Scarabs are just absolutely rolling over the center, and unfortunately ran straight over the priests. Looking probably to then come and support Anakia. However, Anakia and the Lich Guard actually managed to cut down the priest, despite Ali being able to reroll saves from the priest singing his hymn. We managed to actually cut down the remaining wound on the Bonehead, kill the remaining Ugrin, and kill the priest here as well. As Anakia turns round to climb back over the barricade, he sees a firing squad in his way, and they are going to stand and try and hold Anakia and the Lich Guard up, while Captain Commissar Eisenkopf runs from the board. So Eisenkopf has made it off the board. That's going to be the end of the game. He is an absolute coward. He's abandoned this firing squad. He's left the veterans and the heavy weapons team to the doom. to be rolled over by destroyers and scarabs. So that's a victory for the Necrons. Today's game is being filmed at Durham Raiders. If you live in the Durham area, please check them out. I'll post a link in the description. It's been really nice playing against Ali's Imperial Guard. It's not very often I get to play them, but I think Eisenkopf is going to want revenge. He's going to want to take this monastery back, and he's going to be rolling back soon, hopefully with a tank company. So if you've liked the armies, please stay tuned, and hopefully we should see more of Ali's Imperial Guard on the channel. And I hope you've enjoyed the Necrons. I've had a few games with them now, and I'm starting to get a bit of a feel for them. If I played anything wrong with the Necrons, please let us know. I'm looking to also expand them. I do have most of the models in the Codex, but I'm looking to paint some more. What would you add? That's what I'd like to know. So if you've enjoyed the game, please check out the rest of the games on the channel, and check out the Dark Artisan Facebook page as well for updates on what I'm currently working on. So a big thanks to Ali for today's game, and thank you very much for watching.